What up? What up? What it do, everybody? Look, man, how's it going? It's your boy Black Mantra here with another episode of Feed Me Tech. Today, I want to go ahead and talk about Destruction All-Stars on the PS5. So this is actually one of the PlayStation Plus games of the month. So if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, as of February 2nd, 2021, you can hop into the PlayStation Store and get this one downloaded on your PlayStation 5. That's an important part of this. Yeah, Destruction All-Stars, a vehicle combat / derby game, multiplayer game published by Lucid Games. Now, this game kind of reminds me of a blend of Twisted Metal, Burnout, and a little bit of Overwatch. You might even go ahead and throw in some Rocket League there, depending on how much you play that. So really, the goal of the game is to just crush all of your enemies. It's a pretty straightforward game with really straightforward gameplay. So really, you drive around the map. So it's really a bunch of different arenas. I think it's about 4 or 5 different arenas. You hop into your vehicle, drive around the arena, gain speed. Once you get a good angle on an opponent, you just smash into them as hard as you can. You get points based off of the amount of damage you apply to different enemies. So as you go through the game, really your main goal is to just destroy as many cars as possible. Now, there are a few different game modes here. Now, in each of these game modes, I believe there are 4 different game modes. So we have Mayhem, we have Gridfall, we have Carnado, and we also have Stockpile. Mayhem, that one is your more standard. That's a solo, every man for himself game mode. That one, it's really just the most points win. So you're going around the map for an allotted time and just running into people, and at the end of the match, they'll calculate who has the highest score. Gridfall, another one of those every man for yourself things. That's more of a royale mode where as you drive along, I don't know if you've played Drop Shot in a game like Rocket League, but it's pretty similar to that. Or if you've played Hexagon in Fall Guys, another similar game. So essentially, as you drive around the map, different tiles are going to start to fall out on the floor. So of course, you being a person who is navigating around that same arena floor, you're going to have to go ahead and make sure you avoid some of these dangerous areas. So that's what Gridfall is. Next, we have the team-based mode. So we have 2 of those as well. So we have an 8 versus 8 mode called Carnado. Now, this one, you're hitting opponents kind of like Mayhem still, but as you hit opponents, you gain points, and these points you need to actually go and bank at the center of the map. The center of the map is going to be a giant tornado. You drive your car into it, your car explodes, and that effectively banks your points. The last one we have here is Stockpile. So you drive around the map, collect gears, but you have to be on foot in order to collect these different items. Once you do that, you can go ahead and deposit the different gears you collected at the bank via car. So 4 modes. I was actually, to be honest, expecting a little bit more here. I feel like the game is a tiny bit content bare. Remember, this game was actually supposed to be released in November with the launch of the PlayStation 5, but they ended up pushing this one back. I believe they announced that they would be pushing the game back in late October, but they pushed the game back and decided they would just put this on PlayStation Plus for free. Now, that is slightly concerning that this at one point was supposed to be a paid offering. So I'm not going to get mad over something that didn't happen, but I'm glad they went the route of making this free, because it kind of makes the lack of content a little bit more acceptable here. Now, to move on here, another thing that we have here with the game is some on-foot mechanics. So that's one of the things that actually makes Destruction All-Stars unique as a game. In some of the other games that I compared it to, like Twisted Metal, Burnout, etc. In those games, you stay in your car. I think really in every game that's like this, you tend to stay in your vehicle because that's where most of the fun happens. But Destruction All-Stars takes it a step further and allows you to exit your vehicle. Now, this can be in a couple different ways. So maybe your car gets wrecked by an enemy opponent. This will launch you from your car and allow you to run around the map until you can find a new vehicle. So that's an interesting little twist there. Typically, you would just respawn in a new car in other games. Another thing that's pretty useful with this is that you also have a special, kind of a special ability while you're on foot. Really, honestly, this is just used for navigating around and trying to make sure you don't get hit by other cars while you're on foot, and also to help you reach some of the cars that are out of your reach normally. Another thing with the on-foot mechanics is I feel like there's a layer missing here. Now, with this being kind of one of the unique aspects of Destruction All-Stars, I was kind of hoping that we would have a little bit more with this. There should be something where maybe if you're on foot, you can also damage cars. I just feel like there was a missed opportunity to make this aspect of the game feel like more. As I'm on foot, and usually, like I said, that's because my car got destroyed or I bailed from my car before it got destroyed. A lot of times, that moment when I'm on foot, that 30 to 60 seconds as I'm finding a new car, isn't as exciting. I mean, as you would imagine, it's kind of hit or miss with that because you're really running around just trying not to get killed. Your main goal is to try to get back into a car. That's where all the fun happens. But, you know, that could just be a little bit of, my own perspective mixed in there. So, next thing I want to talk about here is we have 16 characters. So each one of these characters, this is where you get the Overwatch kind of vibe of the game. You can select different characters. Each team can't pick the same character twice. Each of the characters here have their own special move while they're on foot and their own special ability for their own unique vehicle. So each of these characters has their own unique special vehicle that they can summon, you know, if they collect enough of the in-game gems, and you know, you can experience that when you play the game. I won't get too deep into that, but I think they do enough here to make each of these characters feel unique and fun. You can definitely hear a few people already talking about their favorites here, but you know, all in all, there's really not too much there. There's nothing else besides the card describing what the players here do. There's really not much to make you care about the different all-stars. There's no real story or really anything here to make you care about it, and I think that's probably my biggest gripe with the game. The game is foundationally, I think this is a great game. I think there's a lot that they can do and build on with what they have right here to make this something that, you know, goes down in history as a classic. And this could be one of those things that, you know, PlayStation also holds under their belt one day that says, you know, if you want to play Destruction All-Stars, you're gonna have to get a PlayStation. This could be something that's exciting and draws people in, but it's going to take a few updates in my opinion. They're going to need to add some content. They're going to need to make these characters more interesting. And although I didn't dive too deep into it, I've also heard a few negative things about how you obtain, you know, different cosmetic upgrades. I've heard that the point system for that, you earn points far too few. And then also on top of that, the paid options there are kind of, I don't know. I might do a separate video on that one, but I really wanted to focus on the overall gameplay and how you would feel playing this game, since this is something that for most people right now is going to be a free thing. But that's enough for me to summarize everything up for you all. Honestly, like I said, fun foundation to become a great game, but they have a little bit more work to put into this. Far too little content for my taste. I do think that this game should have had a little bit more baked into it, especially since for so long this was supposed to be a game that was released paid only. On top of that, you know, it's not really fun playing with friends. And to expand upon that, you can only play the 8 versus 8 modes in this game if you have a party of friends. So for example, Mayhem, which I think is the strongest mode here, you can only do that as a solo player. You can't be in a party for that. You can't even create a private lobby and just play with your friends that way. So that's something else that I think could make this a great party experience and be another great selling point for the game, but again, something that they ended up not including here. The gameplay feels like it's missing something. Not really sure what it is, but like I said, they can update that over time. Hopefully they do that. And another great thing about the game is it also feels really good playing with the DualSense controller. I think they did a great job of utilizing that as a new tool to help get users engaged in the game here. Now, all of that being said, I'm actually going to give this I'm gonna say a 5 or 6 out of 10. I'll be generous and give this a 6 out of 10. Only because I feel like their heart was in the right place, but it just kind of didn't hit the spot for me. Other than that, that's been everything for me today. I really do appreciate it, guys. As usual, if you haven't told someone you love them today, then you need to go ahead and do that. It could make all the difference. As usual, this is your boy Black Mantra, and I always appreciate the time you guys come over here and spend with me on the channel. Stay gold, everyone. Thanks.